All right, so picking up where we left off, this is a category or a little subtitle I like to title Other Useful Stuff. All right. So this is just some basic algebra that I need you to be able to do. And it also deals with imaginary and complex numbers. Don't be tempted to make that into the square root of -10. Square roots don't add like that. And in fact, to illustrate the point, let me show you something simple. I don't care if you write this down or not, but I want to show it to you. What's the square root of 4? 2. The square root of 5 is roughly 2.2. If I add those together, I get 4.2, right? Which is not the square root of 9, is it? So this is not equal to the square root of 9, which would be 3. So you can't take those and add them together. Believe me now? Not that you didn't believe me before, but anyway. So, what we have to do is we have to try to simplify these. We did that at the end of the semester earlier this year, right? Or technically it was in 2016. But how would I simplify the square root of -18? How about we make a little prime factor tree? So 18 is 2 and 9, right? So 3i square roots of 2. This sort of thing is going to be on your test, so hopefully we understand how to do it. How about the next one? Why don't you do the next one and tell me what you get? So 8 is 2 and 4, 2 and 2. There's a pair of 2's. So this is 2i square roots of 2. And now I can combine those because the square root of 2 acts like almost like a variable. So if I have 3i square roots of 2 minus 2i square roots of 2, what would I have? I square roots of 2. Sorry, this is kind of messy. I failed. All right. What if I had -1 plus the square root of -5 quantity squared? Thoughts? I hate Brenda. No one knows what that's from. It was from a bad lip reading of The Empire Strikes Back. It's Yoda and Luke talking to each other. Anyway. And now that's on video. All right, so nobody has any thoughts on this? No. But at least you had a thought. Oh. Well, if I'm squaring this, because there's a plus, I can't just square the individual pieces. And so I've got to write it twice and FOIL it with itself, or use a shortcut. Most kids don't remember the shortcut. So, and also I might pull this negative out and make it into an I. So this would be -1 plus I square roots of 5 times -1 plus I square roots of 5. And then all we have to do is FOIL this. So -1 times -1. This is where you tell me what that is. 1. Then -1 times I square roots of 5. Thank you. Holy crap. And then I square roots of 5 times -1 would be the same thing. And then that times that. What's the square root of 5 times the square root of 5? Yes, it would be. That's not the question I asked, but it'll end up being -5. The square root of 5 times the square root of 5 is 5. Because when you take the square root, you're saying what times itself gives me 5, and then you're multiplying it by itself. And then, of course, you get I squared, which turns that into -5. So this becomes -5. So then this would become -4. What's the other piece? If I've got minus I square roots of 5 minus I square roots of 5, that combines to give me is there 2 of them? And finally, in this section, what would you do first here? Okay. Separate it. I always forget to repeat the question or repeat the answers because I'll bet the mic doesn't pick them up very well. It picks my voice up because I'm really loud. It's not always a good thing. Now what? There are a couple things to pick from. Give me something. I can do that here. I can't do that there because of the square root. But if I reduce this by 5, this would be -5/3, right? What about the square root of -50? How about we simplify that? So 50 is 2 and 25, right? 25 is clearly 5 and 5. So what would you have up top there? Yeah. So this becomes 5I squared roots of 2, and then 5 and 15 reduce. So that would be plus I squared roots of 2 over 3. And that would be your answer.